Namaste, Upendra Chivukula, former assemblyman, former commissioner. And today I am joined by Mr. KJ Sharma, Dr.KJ Sharma. Today our topic for discussion will be Dharma. What is Sanatana Dharma and how does it relate to what our day-to-day lives and how we are conflicted. I think we are conflicted, born in India or raised in India, living or born in America to Indian parents, and in a Western society. And so with there, the value system, especially from the religious point of view, are different. But how do you understand how this whole thing? We'll have a discussion about that. Sharmaji?
A child is born in a poor family in the hut, sleeping on the ground, not having good food. And a child is born in Ford's family or Rockefeller's family or in Ambani's family. What this child has done today, that one is born with suffering and one is born with such pleasure. This is what establishes the fact. This is not the result of this life. This is the result of your past life. So that is why all human beings, we all have to be very, very careful that whatever we do, because we are given the intelligence, we have given the capacity to analyze, to know that whatever I'm doing, it is going to come back to me. So that is why the children have to be very cautious about all these 3 dates as per Sanatana Dharma's teaching. You must get rid of these dates, otherwise it will be carried on and you will suffer. If today we are not taking care of our parents, the same parents will be born as your children next life and they will take your services in that life. Now people said, what nonsense you are talking? How do you know about that? Yes, we know about that. That is what is taught by the Sanatana Dharma. Today's our children are nothing but our past life debt. Remember, this is the truth and it is eternal truth. If we have met as a friend, it is not because of this life. It is because of our past life that in this life we had to be friend and we had to complete give and take to each other. So is the case with husband and wife. People say, oh, no, I met my wife, I chose my wife. No, my dear, no. It was all because of your give and take was still due. In this life you have met and you are completing to each other. That is why we have to be very cautious whether whatever is my duty, my role, either with a friend, either with parent, either with husband and wife, either with children, or either with my own country or my fellow citizens, we have to be very careful and we must perform our duty, our role in the interest as per the law of nature to everybody.
But that brings a very interesting question.
Yeah.
The most religions in the world today, they don't believe in reincarnation, right? Yeah. For what the Sanatana Dharma is teaching about prarabdha. So you need to have a previous life, whatever happened that coming fruition. How do you convince people? It's a difficult thing. So how do we explain to them the theory of incarnation and the doctrine of karma? That's what we talked about, the karma, the doctrine of karma, and whatever you do that has consequences. Of course, Newton's law of physics says that for every action, there's equal and opposite reaction. Yes, yeah. And so I think that is one of the things maybe you can talk about.
Yeah. Reincarnation is absolutely undisputed because as per Sanatana Dharma, there are many instances which are in our history. One example. But at the same time, I can tell you that even in today's world, children are born in many parts of the world, and a small child, he remembers and he mentioned that I was born there. and then he start recognizing the parents from whom they were in their past life. Such examples are found in Europe, in America, in India, all over the world. That establishes the fact. So people are saying today, such examples I'm not...
I think, Sharmaji, one of the things, what do you believe, what do I believe? It's that, what I'm saying is that, see, the science, I remember one of the books you gave me about Dalai Lama talking to the scientists, and that science has not caught up with all the things. In the modern society, people say, can you prove it scientifically? I think that's one of the challenges people, incarnation. Yes, there are indications that, even they have made movies in Telugu and other movies, ex-Telugu movie called Mooga Manasulu. So there was, in that, there's a reincarnation reference to that. I think there are, even if you don't believe in reincarnation, I'm saying, because we cannot say that's a fact, because there are people who don't believe. We cannot persuade them. We can try, and I think we have to make them question. I think they have to have that curiosity. Why I was born in a very rich family and I didn't have to worry about it. While some other people are homeless and they are struggling, poverty. So there are, that type of reasoning one has to engage in. That's what my point was.
Yeah. Faith-based. People talk that I believe. Belief and faith depends upon your own intelligence, your own basic knowledge. So if the knowledge is not the right knowledge, then whatever you believe or whatever one has the faith, that may not be right. That is why it is very important to go to a more knowledgeable person and acquire the knowledge. And for that, there are enough literature, enough scriptures are available for one to study and acquire the knowledge. And as far as you said that in science, they may say that how to prove it. Let me tell you, science has a limitation. Science cannot prove everything. Every day, the research is going on. Until eternity, research will be going on materially and new discoveries will come, because the entire manifestation, Brahman, is infinite. So in infinite realm, any activities which is happening, it is not going to be the final one. So the science has this, I am the student of science, you are a student of science, we are all from science, and I am from zoology. I have specialized in cytogenetics, so I understand even DNA and how things are created. So the science cannot reach that level to infinity. So in infinite realm, whatever things are happening has to be understood within ourselves. That consciousness has the capacity within itself to understand that. Outwardly or physically, by any equipment, you cannot prove it.
Yeah. That's why I think that book, Dalai Lama put it right. He says science is trying to catch up with this infinite wisdom of Sanatana Dharma or the Buddhism, whatever.
So that is why there are many Western intelligent minds like Einstein. You listen to Einstein, what Einstein also could understand. And whatever the theory of relativity and all that Einstein gave, or so many things many scientists have given, these things, these knowledges had been from our rishis who had been sitting in the Himalayas and meditating, and they acquired the knowledge even without using any material equipment to analyze. Because that consciousness itself has the capacity to know the whole universe, because it is unbound, it is infinite, it is all-pervading.
Now, Sharmaji, I used to work for Bell Labs, in the Bell Labs many years ago. And I used to work in a location called Homedale in New Jersey. And that is where Big Bang Theory, creation of the universe was, the theory was developed, because one day they recognized that there was a very faint signal was coming, the space monitoring station in Homedale, and they started observing, and then they found out it's coming from way out there in the cosmos, and somewhere in the space, and then they started developing the Big Bang theory. Our rishis, talked about this Om, and how all that knowledge is there, but a lot of us don't read our scriptures, and then we don't explore. I think one of the messages I get from today is that we should ask for ourselves questions and have that inquisitiveness, so that we just don't take my word for it. Basically, in a society, so take my word for it. No, you explore for yourself, and you find the truth. You bring that awareness. I remember one Westerner, forget the name, but he read all the scriptures. He was seeking the answer. What is Brahman? And then he read all the books, and he got tired of reading all the books. And then he went to Tiruvannamalai, where Ramana Maharshi ashram is there. And then he sat there and watched Ramana Maharshi, and so he picked up a lot of knowledge. I think, this journey is not a simple, buying a ticket, Air India or United Airlines, going to Delhi and coming back. That's not the journey. This is much more internal, introspection. One needs to look into oneself and seek that knowledge. When you start seeking that knowledge, you slowly, it's going to take a long time, depending on where you are in the spectrum. But I think that is what pretty much you are saying.
See, I'm giving central knowledge of Sanatana Dharma, Big Bang theory and all that, and Om, the sound which is echoing in the whole of the universe and all that. As far as the Om sound is echoing, for that I will explain that all these planets and the Milky Ways and
Several galaxies,
all these galaxies, they are all not stationary. They are all moving. Right. So when there is a motion, there has to be a sound. And that sound sounds like Om in the universe.
No, but scientists would say you need air or something like that, some medium for the sound to be generated. If in the space, if there's nothing, why would a sound generate? So it goes back. No.
If the scientists say the space is empty, then the science doesn't have the knowledge. This space is never empty. This space is filled with consciousness. Because the consciousness is the Brahman. That is what is Allah, that is what is God, which is all-pervading. Once we say all-pervading and omnipresent, and then we start believing that, okay, God is not here, God is in the heaven. And when we go to the heaven, we can meet God there. These are all sheer ignorance. This space which you see, it is infinite. And this is not empty. It is filled with the consciousness. When I say consciousness, because consciousness is nothing but the Brahman. The Brahman only is present as consciousness in all living bodies. And it is not that the consciousness is within this body inside and inside here, and in between consciousness is not there. Because if the consciousness is all-pervading, omnipresent, how can it be absent from anywhere? When I understood this, I told that consciousness to Brahman, to Allah, for you everything is possible. One thing is impossible for you. And what is that? You can't be absent from anywhere. Because once we accept that He is omnipresent, how can He be absent? And another thing, the consciousness is not he or she. That also we should understand. Neither he is a male or nor a female. Consciousness is not male or female. Body is male or female. The same consciousness in a female, the same consciousness is a male. So the male and female is the body, not the consciousness. The Brahman is not that. So now I'm giving the ultimate knowledge for my people to understand. Look at the space. This space is infinite and Brahman is all-pervading. Now, in this space, whatever the objects we see is not created. Everything you imagine, this earth, take one planet. Where from this planet has appeared? From this space, which looks empty, isn't it? From empty space, this earth has appeared.
No, it's not a question of, there are gases, scientists do believe, in astronomy, they believe that there are a lot of different types of gases, and that leads to formation of planets and stars and like that. So it's not empty in the sense for sound to travel, right? You need to have some medium. That's the point I was making. But just going back to the consciousness and all-pervading, in Mahabhagavat, right, the story of Prahlad, his father challenging him, where is your Vishnu? Show me here. And then there's a Telugu, it says that Indu galad anduledani endendi vedikina. And so basically, is he here in this column? And then yes, and then there comes Vishnu Bhagavan in Narasimha Roop, half man, half lion. And then that goes back to, so basically that is the all-pervading thing. I was trying to give an example that I learned when I was a child.
So that is why manifestation is the appearance. Right. When something is appeared, so it is not created. Right. It is manifested. Yeah, so the Brahman only is manifested in every form. So Upendra Ji, even the material things, whatever we are seeing, these are not creation. These are the appearance of the same Brahman in the form of entire universe and all the planets. Now, in order to understand that...
Before that, Newton's law says energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed one form to the other.
One from the other.
Right.
So that is why, to explain that to scientific mind, the people who are physically...
Right. That's what we live in.
So I explained to them that, let us imagine what is the small... Earth has appeared, say, from the space, okay? And now what is the smallest particle of the Earth? Is one atom. And in the atom, what do you see? Electron moving around the proton. Yeah. And when you try to break this atom also, the configuration of proton and electron, what happens? Boom. Yeah. And then you don't see the atom. Yeah. It dissipates in the space. So what establishes? That energy only is condensed to form the matter. And what is energy? I always say that, there are three attributes, not property, three attributes of the Brahman. One is that infinite.
All-pervading.
So see, a space is infinite. And sukshtam means absolutely micro. Because of that, it is present all over. Now, in order to understand that, you take a cube of ice. When it melts, it spreads. When it becomes vapor, it spreads. The consciousness is sukshtam, super micro. That is why it is present all over. That is second, super consciousness. And the third is source of energy. And the energy only is manifested by compacting in the form of matter. So, all the three things are from whom? From the same Brahman. From the same Brahman. So that is why we say that entire universe, whatever you see, is nothing but the manifestation of the same Brahman. So that is it. That is the expressed form of Brahman, and the unexpressed form is the consciousness within and all over. Right. This is the ultimate knowledge. There is nothing beyond this. If this much is understood, then we see the presence of consciousness all over. We see anything, we see that it is nothing but the manifestation of the same Brahman.
I can't forget to mention my father, when I was growing up, he talked about one of the Brahma Sutras, Adhato Brahma Jignasa. Yeah. And Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya, he wrote 660 pages of about explaining what is Adhato Brahma Jignasa. Jignasa is the curiosity and knowing about Brahman, and when you start your journey trying to find out what is Brahman, and there's so much of knowledge out there.
Yeah. So to that token, Upendra ji, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has explained that I have got four kinds of bhaktas.
Yeah.
Bhaktas. One is the one who remembers God when he is in trouble. He is called Arth. The second one, when he desires something to get, he remembers God. So this is the largest population, largest number are in this category. Whether they go to the church, whether they go to the temple, whether they go to the mosque, they are all beggars because they are going there to beg God. So I should get this, I should get that, I should get solace, I should get children, I should get good job, I should get good wife, and all these kind of things, So this is the category, this is the second category of bhaktas. The third is called Jigyasu, the philosophers, who are interested to know what is God, what is this, what is that. So this is the category of philosophers. And the real journey for knowledge starts from here, Jigyasu. So for Jigyasu, it is very important to go to the Guru, who is more knowledgeable, and raise questions. It should not be like in Christianity, you are not supposed to raise questions.
Right.
You just have to believe.
Well, they have, yeah.
Or in any faith.
Yeah.
But in Hindu culture or in Sanatana Dharma doctrine, there is no doctrine. Simple is that you satisfy your knowledge, you keep asking till you understand.
Right.
So keep asking. Swami Tadatmananda once told me, he's American, his name is Brian. So he mentioned that, once he became the disciple of Swami Dayananda Saraswati, he was raising questions and he was going to the church, and the pastor said, don't raise question, you have to believe it. But when I went to Dayananda Saraswati, I kept raising questions, number of questions, and he answered all my questions. That's how I got satisfied. So we must ask question, and till we are satisfied, we should not be quiet. So this is the category of Jigyasu. And the fourth category is of Jnani. Once this Jigyasu's Jigyasa is fulfilled, once his questions are finished, he becomes Jnani. So the Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the one who becomes Jnani, he knows what he is, what am I, and then whatever I am, he becomes me only. Me means he becomes Brahman.
Right.
So the ultimate is the knowledge.
Right. But I think, Sharma, to be fair, not everybody can classify themselves as Jnani or Jigyasu. But I think, this is a step-by-step process, right? You go to school, you go to pre-kindergarten, then you go to kindergarten, and like that you go through the process. And so I think some people, it's harder to go to that's why you have this Karma Yoga, and then you have the Bhakti Yoga, and then you have Jnana Yoga. You have the different paths to ultimately get there. There's so many. Not everybody can become a Jnana Yogi right away. So I think, so whether, the different religions, different faiths, they have a different way of reaching the thing. So, but I think there's nothing right or wrong. It's just you choose your path, right? Going to New York City, you can take a turnpike, you can take Parkway, or you can take Route 1, US Route 1. So it's your choice what you want to do. But ultimately, you are reaching your destination.
Once the quest of knowledge is there, nature itself will guide you to move in that direction. But that quest has to arise from within.
That's what we are talking about.
Yeah.
So
the nature itself will guide.
Right.
The
so
God,
you follow the nature. Follow.
Yes.
Listen to yourself. Follow and guide. Ask questions. Learn. And you don't have to put anybody down. We don't have to do that. We always, everybody, if we see Brahman in everybody, we can't put anybody down. Everybody is Brahman.
So that's what in the beginning itself I said, when I see the same consciousness present here and here, how then I can hurt you?
How can you
how I can disrespect you? That is why it is very important to understand this is the spiritual knowledge.
Right.
Even then, I cannot hurt even an ant.
Right.
I tell you, last year, when the rainy season came, while walking in the morning, do you know how many earthworms I had picked up from the road and put them on the grass? Maybe more than 100.
We are not supposed to interfere, laws of nature, right? Earthworm is on the road for a reason, so why you have to pick it up? It will survive, they survive.
Then there is a difference. In my approach, I know that he also has got the right to live. Nobody else has got the right to take the life of anybody. So if he has the right to live, and if I can help, I should help. These are all based on our spiritual knowledge, because I'm seeing the consciousness, the life present.
Sharmaji, I think we are coming to another concluding wonderful discussion, and thank you so much, and
Welcome.
I want to wish everybody
Welcome.
quest for knowledge begins, so you start.
Good. Thank you so much, Upendra ji, because of your questions, and we are trying to share the knowledge by conversing with each other, so that all our brothers and sisters all over the world, they get benefit of the knowledge, and they should have the quest of knowledge.
Say the prayer for from.
So I pray for all. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kasyud dukh bhag bhavet.